we try to shut them down, securities, but I feel so empty without these. So try that shit, buy that dip. I mean, this is not advice, don't cry about it. We'll get married to the fat bags we carry. We buy whatever we like, man. Fuck you, Gary.
Yeah, this looks like a job for me. I see hucksters, fraudsters, probably they need protecting from the SEC. This shit smells like security.
GM, welcome back to the channel. In this one, we're going to find out exactly why I'm wearing a Binance hoodie this morning. We're going to talk about the Retardio incident, which is rather hilarious, and also just see what's happening in the markets, as there's a bit of an update here with Wales markets. A lot of people have been asking, when does IONET go live? It's on the 28th of April, but you can buy it pre-market right about now as well. So I'm going to show you that in today's video. So without further ado, make sure you do subscribe if you're new around here, but let's jump in. So as Honey XBT has posted this morning, we are so back on Bitcoin. So I like to take in as many kind of good sources of technical analysis for Bitcoin as possible. Honey has got a pretty good track record of calling things really well. I obviously watch Crown's videos every single morning. He's pretty much saying right now, as long as we're chopping sideways in a range, this is better for bulls. And we're going to have some kind of upwards resolution, he thinks, in the month of May. She's saying, look, we've got a 4-hour 200 MA reclaim here for BTC, and this should be kind of the go portion of price action here. You can see this was support, 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 flip resistance, but now broke above and flipped to support potentially here. So that is of interest. What we're seeing as well is we've had a positive week thus far with 3 days of net inflows in a row. So as you can see from the data in here, obviously with the macro concerns, geopolitical context, last week it was a bad week where we started off 19th of April. So this was the kind of last bid you could get in before the BTC halving. The boomers came in with 59.7 mil. Then on the 22nd of April, we had plus 62 mil. And then yesterday, plus 31.6 mil. So what has been going on here? We know that GBTC has got this kind of additional ETF now launched with lower fees. I think that is live and kicking. So they're hoping to stop or stem the bleeding from their actual AUM, which has been ridiculous. But what we can see, if you just look at BTC pretty basically here, 450 Bitcoins per day are emitted to miners as rewards. This is net around 30 mil US dollars worth of new emissions. So that is the inflation rate of Bitcoin right now, $30 million. Yesterday, 31.6 was bought up. The day prior, 60. The day prior, 60. You can get the kind of flow here I'm going with. The inflows from these ETFs, the boomer bid, as I'm calling it, is greater than what is being produced by the Bitcoin network every day. And so any additional sources of demands, it should be pumping the price up. I mean, of course, market forces are here. So obviously there's a lot of people holding coins. They're going to want to sell them at some point. But I do think the kind of range play here around the 60, 70K level is pretty much on borrowed time. And I think it's going to be moving higher very soon. Typically though, we do see that for Bitcoin, it maybe takes like 6 months post halving for the market to really start going. At least that has happened previous bull markets. This is the top 10 runes collections. What you can see here is a bit of a correction across the board. I think yesterday might have been a bit of a bottom for these. People maybe getting impatient as to when are these runes going to be easily tradable, what's going on, all these kind of things. How are you going to be able to claim them from the BRC20 tokens? It's going to take some time. It is Bitcoin. It moves slowly. 72% of all Bitcoin transactions in the past 24 hours were runes-based transactions. That is going to help pump the mining stocks for those Bitcoin miners. This is obviously good fee generation for them. And I think this is going to be a big thing for the market. So generally what I'm noticing is that people have got a little bit frustrated with the price action. You can see that with the PUPS chart. That is the one that's liquid on Sol. But generally, I think that that kind of pessimism often marks a bottom for any given assets. And so for the runes, I think they bottomed potentially yesterday and will start to climb out here. If you just look at the market cap of these, so this is runesmarketcap.com. So you can see the biggest market cap runes tokens, RSIC, Satoshi Nakamoto, Wanko Manko runes, ordinals, all of these different ones in here. They're fairly low market caps. in terms of like meme coin standards. And I do think these will trade a lot higher into the coming months. But I do think a bit of patience is warranted with these. But we'll see how things continue. We'll check in with these as and when there is big movements in the market. But as for now, just holding the POPs position. And we've got exposure via the likes of Mubi, Wales Markets indirectly, and a few other little plays out there. Now, why the Binance hoodie today? Well, in support of CZ. So former CEO of Binance, a guy that has done huge things for this market, really propelled the space forward, gave people a real trading venue on Binance.com for many years when liquidity was poor, when trading experience elsewhere was terrible, when a lot of exchanges rugged during that period. Binance has been there through it all and really has helped progress this space. So CZ is kind of on the Mount Rushmore of crypto if there was to be one built. But as you can see, US lawmakers want his head on a platter. So back in November, CZ did plead guilty to anti-money laundering sanctions. He agreed to pay a $50 million fine personally and step down as CEO of Binance. He's been pretty much radio silent since then. But DOJ says Zhao's willful violation of US law was no accident or oversight. The United States recommends the court impose an above guidelines sentence of 36 months of imprisonment. So they want him in prison for 36 months, aka 3 years. But I think that is very unfair. Hence, we're going to rep the Binance hoodie today in solidarity for Mr. CZ. And this kind of headline shows you exactly why the likes of Satoshi Nakamoto remained anonymous. A very smart move indeed. If you make any kind of slip up in this industry, they do want to take your head off. And obviously the crypto industry goes kind of against the kind of traditional finance routes. This is the alternate system and the people in charge do not like it. So not really surprised they're going for his head, but it is rather sad to see. I will leave my further comments and feelings towards this kind of thing to myself because I'll probably just get myself in trouble if I were to speak my mind. Yeah, let's just leave it at that, but free CZ. Right, let's get into the Retardio incident. So Retardio, a meme coin on Solana. It is in jest, it is a bit of banter, it's a bit of fun. But woke ideology does not like it. So this is Polymarket. Now, the Polymarket intern, the guy running the Twitter accounts, had tweeted out the word Retardio, and these guys have come and dismissed him. So we've removed the tweets, we've dismissed the person, and we have an internal review ongoing, says Susan of HR at Polymarkets. So the man in question is Hugo Martingale, whose follower numbers have gone through the roof over the last 24 hours because he has been retweeting everything they've sent him. So for example here, Susan called him in for a HR meeting notes, acceptable use of language. He says, bruh, you cannot be serious. So he's been called. So yesterday he was called in for a HR meeting with Susan. And he's continued to give us the play-by-play here, just revealing everything that's been going on. He says, look who comes crawling back, Retardio, Susan of HR. Hey, Hugo, we'd love to sit back down with you. I think some rash decisions were made. So there is Susan of HR. And Polymarkets have done untold damage to their reputation in the last 24 hours with this. Then further to this, Trading Axe, who is a whale by all means, has decided to gift Hugo as part of help. You know, Polymarket ain't going to give him any severance. They've dismissed him, but Trading Axe wanted to give him 500K. He sent him 250K though. So this is the kind of stuff you only see in crypto. Some anon on the internet has sent this guy who's been wrongfully dismissed by a company who has bent the knee to woke ideology, sent him 250 grand. Pretty crazy stuff. He then further to this offered to buy out Polymarkets as well and then rehire the intern, which is pretty crazy. This is the kind of shit you only see in crypto. No other industry in the world is on par with this industry. It is so funny. It's unbelievable. Further to this, the Retardio token has absolutely pumped here. Its reputation online getting a good boost here. And as you can see, breaking up. It's up like 50%, was as high as like a 95% gain. Clearly though, you can see these wick highs up here in this kind of region. Someone must have a limit order set on Sol to be selling at this region. It's come and clapped it on numerous occasions. If you dial that down into like the 15-minute chart, you can see it clapped up in there numerous times. So we need to break through that, and then Retardio off to the races. Current market cap around $36 million. And what's the saying? Is it any publicity is good publicity? the Retardio name is out there in the wild now. Then in terms of IONET here, it's live on pre-markets over at Wales. They've said this: the current price on Wales Pro is $4, suggesting IO an initial market cap of 2 bill and FDV of 3.2 bill. Excited to see how this one goes. If you go into Wales markets, I'll leave a link to this down below. You can see the kind of, these are people who have got tokens probably via the Galaxy Quests, and they're looking to sell their tokens pre-market. So these are the sellers. They're selling at $4 plus, not a huge amount of liquidity in there. And here are people bidding. Someone's bid here 10,000 IO at 380. So they've put down 38K in USDC for anyone who wants to fill them on that. So very, very interesting to see a $4 price tag has been met here this morning for IO on Wales markets. But as per what they said, initial market cap of 2 bill. If we look at this, I went through this yesterday in detail, the tokenomics of IO. The actual circulating is only 200 mil. So at $4, it's actually at 800 mil circulating market cap. And I think the first year of inflation is around 12%. So just for argument's sake, we'll call it 250 million tokens in the first 12 months. Probably not worth thinking about anything further than that. That's probably the max of where this bull market could take us time-wise, in my opinion. So 250 million tokens at $4, that puts it at, say, a $1 billion circulating market cap. I think this thing will be in the top 20 coins ranked by CoinGecko. And so I think this has some real good movement in there. At a $4 price target, I'm actually thinking of maybe bidding on this if some more liquidity comes to this market. Currently, though, you're seeing a lot of these partial fills. Clearly, someone wants to buy up this token at this price level, and there is just incessant bid for the liquidity on there. So maybe won't be able to get filled, but I would like to at around $4, to be honest with you. Then quick scan of the markets. You can see top right, biggest gainers, Retardio, Harambe. We've got Bitcoin at 66.5. The biggest gainers here, Bonk, Whiff, Pepe, Floki. I mean, come on. It is the meme coins. And then we've got a spattering of AI in there as well. So the market has shown its hand. Meme coins, AI, those are the real headline winners in this cycle. I'm also allocating to crypto gaming as well. But apart from that, everything has been a bit lackluster. And so you want to just get on the fastest horses, in my humble opinion. Anyway, that's how I'm playing it. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.